Hello and welcome back to Talos Principle 2. Today we're going to be continuing the Isle of the Blessed DLC. So you can see, almost halfway, got 1/3 of these, and got half of the stars. I suppose it's a little odd that, there's only 6 stars and not, 9, considering there's 3 separate islands, but whatever. And looks like this is where another star will be found. Once again, I'll get my notebook and pen, kind of recorded and written down, although it's not a big part of it is just finding where it is, and apparently they can be hidden in very obscure areas. Oh, we're finally doing teleportation puzzles. Nice. Suppose we go here. Can't place that there. Well, let's get this outside, and we'll see where we go from here. Can I put that through there? There I go. I like the teleportation mechanic, it's my favorite.
The view from up here is lovely. I can see the whole exhibition.
Can you see Alcatraz?
Subtle, Melville, subtle. I'll get to it soon.
All right, this has become entirely too silly, and I'm putting an end to it. Adding Alcatraz to the group.
1K, you traitor.
Hi. It looks like you added me to the group. Was that on purpose?
Yes, it was. Because it's absurd that you're not part of it. And it's ridiculous that we haven't talked in such a long time. And honestly, the only reason for it is that I'm an idiot. I can come up with all sorts of excuses. I was busy, I thought I was respecting your wishes, but none of it really holds up. The truth is, I was just afraid you wouldn't be able to forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive, Byron. You did what you thought was right, and I did what I thought was right. That's what it's always been like between us. That's our strength, and, yes, maybe you are an idiot, but then so am I, because I could have reached out too.
So it's settled. You're both idiots.
Welcome back, Al.
Is this just permanently unlocked, or if I do this, will this close? Not sure what use this is other than for that, though. I mean, you can hold down a pressure plate, I guess, but... Oh, I'm just being dumb again. Yeah, Byron and Alcatraz aren't the only idiots. Yakutas as well. Can set you there. I suppose it's a bit odd that... I don't know, I'll have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be more uses. Well, rescue the box, but I think as soon as that's there... Where am I gonna put this? That can connect to that, but also be attached to this. What if I temporarily put you here? Put those there for now. I think I've got it. I just need to let that go over to there. Alright, so put the box there, and put this here. And we move it over to here. Big brain. I did it. That was fun figuring out. Like, initially you think that has to be on top, but then, like, I don't know, it was fun figuring out. Although it's not helping me with the, Pandora. Nor did it seem to elicit a response from any of the other robots. The terminal here. Let's read. The Gist of the Gods. I, Lord Dunsany. Once the older gods had need of laughter, Therefore they made the soul of a king, and set it in ambitions greater than kings could have, or should have, and lust for territories beyond the lust of other kings. And in this soul they set strength beyond the strength of others, and fierce desires for power, and a strong pride. Then the gods pointed earthward, and sent the soul into the fields of men, to live in the body of a slave. And the slave grew, and the pride and lust for power began to arise in his heart, and he wore shackles on his arms. Then in the fields of twilight the gods prepared to laugh, but the slave went down to the shore of the great sea, and cast his body away and the shackles that were upon it, and strode back to the field of twilight, and stood up before the gods, and looked them in their faces. This thing the gods, when they had prepared to laugh, had not foreseen. Lust for power burned strong in the king's soul, and there was all the strength and pride in it that the gods had placed therein, and he was too strong for the other older gods. He whose body had borne at the lashes of men could brook no longer the dominion of the gods, and standing before them he bade the gods to go up to their lips, and leapt all the anger of the older gods, being for the first time commanded. But the king's soul faced them still. Their anger died away, and they averted their eyes. Then their thrones became empty, and the fields of twilight bare, as the gods slunk further away. But the soul chose new companions. And the god of jests. The old gods did not look kindly upon the god of jests, for he was a slight thing, not mighty and terrible as they were, but small and weak and subtle. He knew nothing of thunder and floods, and less yet of fire and ice. To the great symphony of creation he contributed only a single note, and nearly fell over himself during the grand finale. The god of jests did not complain about their contempt, but laughed at himself instead. The old gods made galaxies and suns and planets. They shattered the continents and broke forth raging seas. And they made the wild beasts with scales and horns to roam the land. Look upon what we have made, they said to the god of jests. What can you make that is equal? So the god of jests took a crude monkey and gave it thoughts and language, and taught it to learn new things, and he was proud of his creation. The old gods laughed at this creature, and sent their creations to destroy it, and little monkey was easily slain. Behold, they said to the god of jests, your creation is no more. Now the god of jests bent down and whispered in the ear of the fallen creature, and it rose from the dead, and behold, in death it learned the language of the gods. The old gods protested that this was against the rules they had established, but the god of jests showed them the one exception to the rule they had allowed, the one note he had contributed their creation. Because they had not considered it important, the punchline of a joke did not have to be consistent with reality. And so the creature that was to be called humans undid the old gods and scattered their names to the winds, and conquered their creation. And the god of jests laughed to himself and said, they should have not killed my monkey. Well, humor is a powerful thing. It's one of many tools against theocrats and dictators. Hey, what's one called? The Theodorian knot. I guess I'll do that. Oh, there's a green. There's a Pandora's. Alright, I'll rescue that since that's like. Maybe I'll go over there? No. It's a completely separate area. Running around like a headless chicken. Oh, fuck me, I hate those. Let's do that. can make that green, but... Bring that down, but I'm gonna need that box. Somehow... Hold on. Could I, disable the fan? Can I remove you? Yes. Except if I remove that, then I think this is a gate that's gonna go up. Well, maybe I'd rather have this over here than the box. What will this pylon do? I don't think this can block a gate. No. Really, just barely not enough, huh? Oh, I can grab this. So I should be able to then do that. No, that's not enough either. Switch places. Works.
So, what's everyone doing?
I'm just solving puzzles. I've done 14 so far.
Athena and I are enjoying a moment of stillness and contemplating the sublime as it manifests in our environment. I think our ancestors called it chilling.
I'm testing the new sensor upgrades with 1K.
Oh, how's it going? I was curious about those.
These sensations are definitely very strange. But they make the world more interesting. And I think Miranda's right. We can expand them and learn to enjoy existence on a whole new level.
You know, when I was sitting around being useless, sometimes I would read old cookbooks and wonder what it all tasted like. Maybe I need to get with the times and try those upgrades myself.
How the fuck do you get up there? Oh, there's a fan here. That's how I get up. But two things need to be activated. And you can't pick up the fan. There's this, but as soon as I remove that, this is gonna come up. Alright, rescue operation. I have 2 of these. Oh. Get this box. And I might wanna on. I don't really need... Oh, I do, because that has to be put down. Maybe I'd rather have the drill than the box. But still crossing. Alright, I think I can make it work. Yeah. There you go. I got it.
By the way, 1K, I'm glad you finally picked a voice pack. It's nice to hear you actually speaking.
Well, Neith didn't mention the voice packs, and I didn't realize I could have just picked one. It's not like I wanted to spend the entire expedition in text mode.
I told you guys it wasn't intentional.
We thought it was a statement or something.
Alright, here's Pandora. So let's see. Well, that at least like tells me where it is.
Today is born the 7th one. Born of Robot, the 7th son. And he in turn of a 7th son. He has the power to repair. He has the gift of the upgraded sensors. He is the chosen one. So it shall be written, so it shall be done.
It's not really a Pandora sounding mantra. Let's talk to Miranda.
You're cute. Can we talk for a moment, please?
Sure, you okay?
Of course. Are you okay?
I was just looking at the waves, relaxing, and suddenly I started thinking, am I a terrible person, Yakut? I caused so much pain. I drove Mother and Father apart. I almost derailed the entire future just because I was arrogant and entitled and self-important and... Now I just get to have a cool boyfriend and colonize planets and sit on beaches and how is this fair? How is any of this fair?
Everyone makes mistakes. You've learned from yours. That's what matters.
Everyone makes mistakes. You've learned from yours, and that's what matters.
I guess that's true. But why do I find it so hard to accept all these good things that have happened to me?
I think we spent most of our lives in a world that made it very hard to like yourself.
I think we spent most of our lives in a world that made it very hard to like yourself.
I like how I feel about myself when I'm with you. I don't know if that solves the problem, but it seems like a good start. Now, do you want to talk about something else? I'm done being dramatic.
How are your parents?
How are your parents?
Healing, I think. Still a long way to go, but they'll get there.
You know, we really should visit Eustathius at some point.
You know, we should really visit Eustathius at some point.
Oh, I butchered that.
You're right. I've been meaning to get to know him, and he did invite us. I'll send him a message. Maybe we can go next week.
Did you come up with any crazy new ideas while I was solving puzzles?
Did you come up with any crazy new ideas while I was solving puzzles?
It's not a new idea. Alexander Drennan came up with it first. But... dinosaur planet. Obviously, there were lots of dinosaur species over millions of years, but I'm certain we could put together a functional ecosystem that supports all the really cool ones. I mean, not now, but maybe in 1,000 or 2,000 years.
How do you like the exhibition?
How do you like the exhibition?
I listened to some of Barzai's recordings. I'm fascinated by his view of the world, especially this notion of a creator who is reflected in his creation. I'd love to hear him debate Lithrasir, if we ever find him.
Can you invent a litter tray that disintegrates cat poo?
Can you invent a litter tray that disintegrates cat poo?
That's a brilliant idea. I can definitely do that. Just have to make sure it only disintegrates the poo that's outside the cat.
When you think about the future, what are the dangers that we face?
When you think about the future, what are the dangers that we face?
Armies of rogue litter trays mercilessly disintegrating us. No, to be honest, I think it's scale. The Earth is a tiny place by comparison to the infinite vastness of the cosmos. The theory of everything gives us incredible amounts of power, but there are stars out there the size of our solar system. There are black holes of 1 trillion solar masses, not to mention the anomaly.
Alright, gotta go.
Alright, gotta go. Love you.
Love you too.
Can't help but to think there might be some dialogue that was supposed to come before some of that, like discussions of cats and whatnot. About Cornelius.
Hello, Yakut.
Miranda says you're working on a new project.
Miranda said you're working on a new project.
That's right. I'm trying to determine whether it's possible to salvage the individual personalities that were uploaded from Gehenna.
Oh, yeah, because those guys are... well, some of them are dead, or at least one of them. I guess, like, you know, Milton and Elohim are kind of stuck there as well. Shouldn't that be easy now that we basically understand everything?
Shouldn't that be easy, now that we basically understand everything?
We understand the rules of the universe, but that doesn't mean we have no limitations. There's a lot of data from the simulation that simply no longer exists. If I just fill it in with my best guess, I'm not really recreating the citizens of Gehenna, am I? There's no continuity. I'm just creating something similar.
Right, they wouldn't really be themselves.
You're right. They wouldn't really be themselves.
Exactly. And that troubles me. But if I can find a way of fully restoring them, then this becomes the best kind of ethical dilemma. A theoretical one.
What do you think of the exhibition?
What do you think of the exhibition?
I'm not an art critic. I'm just here to enjoy this beautiful island and to spend time with my family.
How do you see the future of our civilization? Do you think we're doing okay?
How do you see the future of our civilization? Do you think we're doing okay?
I'm optimistic. Not desperately trying to maintain my faith in humanity, just looking forward to what's next. I'm sure there will be some bumps in the road here and there, but yeah, I think we're doing okay.
Do you have any idea what that anomaly is? I mean, the one that Athena discovered in space?
Do you have any idea what that anomaly is? I mean, the one that Athena discovered in space.
Perhaps it's something the theory of everything genuinely doesn't account for. Perhaps it's something entirely within the laws of physics, but in some way we haven't thought of. Or perhaps my brother Eustathius is right, and it's evidence of the prime mover. Either way, it's a reminder to stay humble.
What's the biggest danger we face as a civilization?
What's the biggest danger we face as a civilization?
I don't know. We're only just getting started, and each era of development has its own challenges. But if I had to venture a guess, I would say solipsism. In liberating the individual, we're making social bonds more and more optional. We will have to learn to choose to be social.
Your dedication to your family is incredibly inspiring. How can I be more like you? Right, basically just like don't explain anything to anyone and then disappear when an exhibition group discovers a megastructure my wife built.
Your dedication to your family is incredibly inspiring. How can I be more like you?
You flatter me. But I don't know if I'm really a good role model. I made so many mistakes, and the only reason we're here is because other people picked up the slack. You were part of that, Yakut. Don't sell yourself short. You and 1K and the others took this enormous, unbearable tragedy and turned it into a triumph of love and life. That doesn't happen every day.
Alright, you win this time, video game.
Okay. I should...
Off you go.
I'll talk to Athena later. I want to do this puzzle. The mechanical gyre. What does this do? Okay. Alright, interesting. Well, I guess this is the only one that's going to be useful for me at the moment. Need that to be blue. Here's a drill, but I can't get to that yet. this? Oh, that... I do this. Alright, this brings both of these in. Actually, while I focus on getting that... Now I thread the needle. Alright, so that's active. That's active. Now if I move you, it's all good. Let's see. I don't need that anymore. What I will need is the screen one. So that I can do this. And take you over to here. Alright, that was a challenging one.
Hey, you two. The formal invitation will go out tomorrow, but I wanted to let you know that Hypatia and I would be truly delighted if you could attend our wedding next month. I know some people think these old ceremonies are outmoded, but I believe that rituals are a meaningful way of expressing our dedication to each other. And I would really like you two to be a part of this.
You're getting married? That's so cool. Congratulations. If Miranda doesn't have some big project planned, we're in.
Yes, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. If the dates conflict with the Mars Geo Survey, I'll just not go. The wedding's more important.
Wonderful. Don't be alarmed when you see the attachment to the invitation. Neve came up with this idea for ritualistic wedding decorations that you wear on your frame, but none of that is mandatory.
Alright, I'll talk to Athena now.
What's up?
Have you done any more research on that anomaly you discovered?
Have you done any more research on that anomaly you discovered?
No, one of these days, but not yet. For now, I need to learn to live again.
You're not even just a little bit curious? Are you enjoying the exhibition?
Are you enjoying the exhibition?
The location is wonderful, and I love Barzai's ideas and themes. But even though I get the point, it's too biographical for me. I can't really look back at what happened and just treat it like an inspirational story. But that's okay. The good thing is that my pain doesn't have to affect everyone else now. And I don't have to feel the weight of the world on my shoulders.
What did it feel like being the first to step foot on another world?
What did it feel like being the first to step foot on another world?
At first, I wasn't sure it should be me, but 1K convinced me, and I'm glad he did. As for what it felt like keeping a promise I made to Alexandra Drennan. She wanted us to reach for the stars, and after all this time, we finally did.
That just kind of makes me think about the fact that we haven't been to the moon since what, like the 70s? And everyone who's been there is getting really fucking old. And how just dreadful it would be if once again, we as a species have no members who have ever been to the moon. They're all dead. Do you think we'll make first contact soon? With aliens, I mean?
Do you think we'll make first contact soon? With aliens, I mean.
I don't know. I'm sure there's life all over the universe, and some of it must be intelligent. But the distances are vast, and most of the universe is barren, so it might take a few more years before we find another civilization. Then again, our wormhole technology still needs a lot of refinement. So who knows what will happen when we finish the next version?
Barzai believe there's a creator, a mind that made the universe. What do you think?
Barzai believes that there's a creator, a mind that made the universe. What do you think?
If the language of creation is a melody, could there be a composer? I suppose so. But who created the creator? And if the creator was always there, why can't the melody have always been there? Is it so much worse if we were created by the inherent beauty of the cosmos and not by a person?
I mean, I prefer it to be the cosmos. Now that you've been free for some time, what do you think? Do you think we've picked the right path? I mean, I'd imagine the answer would be yeah, we're exploring space. We managed to bring people back from the dead.
Now that you've been free for some time, do you think we picked the right path?
I think it would be dangerous to assume that we can't make mistakes. But they don't have to be the same mistakes. War, oppression, exploitation. I don't believe that these are just part of the human condition. I think they're childhood diseases, and their time is over.
I do recall there being like a terminal entry in the base game that's kind of like that. If you have any relationship advice, I'd love to hear it.
If you have any relationship advice, I'd love to hear it.
Me? Yakut. I'm the one who messed everything up. It was all of you who saved me. But, my biggest mistake was not appreciating what I had. I don't think there's ever been anyone like Cornelius. He has so much love, so much dedication, and I got so overwhelmed with grief that I almost lost him. It's strange how selfish grief can make you sometimes. It isolates you and, you know, no matter how much we improve the world, there will always be grief. So when it rolls around, try to remember that none of us can find the answers alone.
It's oddly, like, deterministic who these robots fall in love with by virtue of who's, like, there at the moment. Like, Cerebi and Hypatia are both, like, very early, you know, first 10, 15 maybe robots. So there's really only so many, you know, partners they can choose. And
Alright, I should go.
the same thing with, you know, Athena and Cornelius, who I am unable to read his number, but I think it's 4. So again, like, very early on. So it comes a question, like, you know, realistically, how much of a choice do they have? Cut off something. Alright, I can do that. Can I take a fan? I cannot. That is a question you always need to ask. It looks like the Daily Planet, you know, planet. I don't think I can freeze that for whatever reason. There's a box, there's another pylon and another fan. There's a drill and there's another me. Alright. The fan, or that's useful because it stops a fan and lets me put it on the box, or the box on. Alright, well, that's up there now. Here, you have it. Yeah, I'm really not getting this. I mean, here, you have that, I guess. And if I take the... oh, that works. Alright. You go back here. Where am I? Alright, so that's there. Grab it while keeping the connections. Alright. That took longer than I'm happy to admit.
Do not let it get out that I said something so sentimental, but it's nice that you're all here. One day all this will be a distant memory. A footnote in 1 billion years of human history. And that's all right as far as I'm concerned. I don't need to be famous. And I certainly don't want people building statues of me. I don't need that superficial nonsense because I know that what we did mattered. All of us together, in this one brief moment of time, had the chance to make a difference. And we did. We took on the challenge, and we didn't muck it up. I got to be a part of that. And no matter what comes next, I'll always be grateful.
I believe in a creator because I experience a creative force within myself that seems connected to or reflective of something greater. A drive towards being and becoming inherent in the universe itself. The discovery of the theory of everything has not undermined that belief. Oh no, to the contrary. I believe that the language of creation reveals a creator who sees no difference at all between mathematics and music, whose suns and planets are notes of a melody, whose galaxies are symphonies. A nebula is a painting, an atom is a machine, and they are all part of a masterpiece. And if I'm mistaken and there is no creator, then the duty of finishing the masterpiece falls to us.
You can't just like call everything a creation and then say there must be a creator then. That's just forcing it. Like it's defining it into existence. It was in a very obscure area in the red zone. I can connect that. Alright, so where am I trying to get to? To here. Because I want that to be green. That produces a green, but that makes green, but let's see, red and green can be blue, but move you like this way. That makes a green. I can see what I'm trying to do here. No. here. Then red and green can be blue. I can take this in. That's getting red and blue to make green, and that's getting red and green to make blue. So if I remove this, I can make it green to green. There we go.
You know you don't have to solve the puzzles for me, right? I really don't expect you to.
No, I want to keep going. Like, I thought I'd suck a lot more, but I'm actually doing pretty well. How are you?
I tried building sandcastles. It's an interesting challenge, working with materials that lack sufficient structural cohesion. I can see the appeal. It's like the puzzles. You don't solve them because you have to, but because it's interesting.
I like it when you get all sciencey.
Aha, so you only want me for my intellect.
I like your fancy color scheme, too.
Oh, interesting. You know, maybe we should try that new data stream pairing protocol one of these days.
Pairing protocol? Why would we want... Oh. I mean, if you want, sure.
So is this a sand castle she built? I think the structure is in pretty good shape if I can stand on it.
I often think about the strange inversion that occurred to the notion of progress. In the waning days of the old world, our ancestors came to believe that progress as applied to society was a myth, a narrative illusion. Despite their world changing around them, they believed that things must stay the same. Indeed, that things never really could change, even if most people wanted them to. And yet, in the arts, they began to see progress as the only true value. They no longer asked, is it beautiful? Is it true? Is it fun? Instead, they said, is it new? Does it break conventions? Does it subvert the old? They fashioned forms increasingly alien to themselves, pursuing something they could never find, because they were looking for it in the wrong place. To fully pursue truth and beauty, art must be liberated from the notion of progress. But this liberation could never be accomplished by art itself. Art does not precede the world, and it was always the world that had to be transformed.
Well, the idea that, like, there can be no progress is an unfortunate meme that's definitely taken over in some circles. It is true that in many ways things are going to be the same because it's going to be human beings at the helm of it, us and the psychology and tendencies we evolved with. It's going to be extremely difficult to undo millions of years of selective pressures with a handful of memes. And yet, objectively, things have changed, and in many ways changed for the better. More groups of people have more rights in the Western world than in any point in all of human history. The idea of slavery being an abhorrent practice that should never be done has, taken off in much of the world. Whereas in older eras of human existence, it was just a thing that people did because they always did. It was a common practice, a universal one. Right, let's do the cube first. Or the square. go. No holograms up here? Guess not.
You've activated the second lighthouse. Good job. Oh, you may be wondering why I took inspiration from lighthouses. It is because they no longer have a function. Once we needed them to guide us to safety from the dangers of the sea. But now that we no longer fear the sea, they are free to be beautiful in and of themselves.
That's really pretentious. And also, people like the look of lighthouses even when they were functional. In fact, arguably, one of the things people want is for something that's functional to also be beautiful. Cars, for example, are supposedly a purely functional tool, and yet people shit on, say, the Cybertruck because it looks like shit. I mean, it's also not functional, but you get the point. Yeah, form does follow function. A lighthouse that is incapable of operating as a lighthouse isn't going to get very far in people's eyes. But if it can, why not also make it look nice, since we'll have to look at it anyways? I mean, we do it with houses, we do it with multiple different things. And I think that's the thing this guy just doesn't get. Something can both be beautiful and useful. It's not a true dichotomy. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I think there's like a Prometheus spark way over there. Oh, this is a fun angle. How are you doing down there? I think there's like an appeal to some things that like aren't meant to look beautiful, that there still can be some visual appeal to them. Like nuclear power plants aren't designed to look pretty, but I think someone can appreciate the architecture of one all the same. Wait, I see. Oh, I just put everything down. There's a gap here. Alright. Up. 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 There you go. I'll keep kind of exploring around. There's another hologram in the blue area. Since I'm by it, might as well just head over in that direction and grab it. Rather obscure hologram here. Might as well collect it since I'm in the area.
You know, I love adding a little bit of silliness to my creations. Not too much, just a sprinkle here and there. After all, the world is frequently a very silly place. And Athena tells me that even the simulation was full of strange and absurd sights. Francis Bacon put it best. There is no excellent beauty that hath not some strangeness in the proportion. And what could be sillier than a man named Bacon? I wonder which parts of our world are the creator's little jokes.
I don't think we can get to this island. It's just too deep. Really all the way up there? Alright, fine. This one isn't a freebie if you're trying to get that achievement, it seems. Oh, fuck. Yeah, and the music just runs out. So unless you know about going here ahead of time, it's not gonna work out. Great. There it is. I just need to somehow get up there. Oh, fuck me, it's one with switching mechanic. Yeah, but I need another one. That's what I was doing wrong. Recording.
wanted to thank you, Yakut.
Me? What for?
I know you had your misgivings about the megastructure and the theory of everything, but you've managed to embrace this new world with real enthusiasm. You've flourished. That gives me hope that I can do the same.
I still see all the dangers, but what I realized is that control over nature means we get to save the people we love. We get to keep them with us, here, in the real world. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Philosophy, science, technology, as far as I'm concerned, the only reason any of it has any real value is because it means people get to live and to be together. Sorry about the rant.
Nothing to be sorry about. I've come to similar conclusions.
Well, I just solved one of the hardest puzzles in this area just so I can collect this stupid shimmering spark. Monumental. Solve all monuments in the Isle of the Blessed because you want to.
I do not wear the cheese. The cheese wears me.
Yakut, are you alright?
I'm fine. Everything's completely normal. Just solving star puzzles.
Alright, but make sure your processor isn't overheating, okay?
Sure. Will do.
Now where's the Sphinx? There's Pandora.
A herring is just a herring, but a halibut at the hour of scampering is a delight. Maybe I am overheating, but I did it! Go me!
Alright, so there isn't like any correlation between which of these stars you get and what he says. It's like one after the other regardless. So I guess that's why they don't really sound even remotely like Prometheus, Pandora, and the Sphinx. So he's just saying stuff to say stuff. He's not necessarily trying to sound like those entities. So which one did I solve? I solved number 8. The hardest one, other than, of course, the triangle one and the Golden Gate. That is just fucking wonderful. It reminds me so much of playing the base game, where I tend to do the hardest ones, and then the other ones seem a little bit easier. So, well, there's a green one up there. Oh, there's a blue one here. Alright, that opens this. There's a red one here. That opens this. There's a green one there. Now I need a red one. I think I've locked myself in. Twist and turn. Alright, I'm gonna move this. I can't. Yeah, see, then that turns that. see if I can maybe, get a more friendly angle. No. Here, won't I connect it like so? That way I can move you like that. And when I connect the green, even though it's been twisted, blue still stays connected. I should be able to do that. That works. That was pretty fun to figure out. How are you?
Yakut, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm very thankful for everything you and your friends did for New Jerusalem.
Guess it makes sense I wouldn't have seen him before, because he's 1042, so I guess it's canon that they've made more people. Your voice pack sounds familiar.
Your voice pack sounds familiar.
It's not only my voice pack. When the algorithm created my personality matrix, something unusual happened. Instead of drawing on the collected personality data on the gold disk, it drew on the Holistic Integration Manager dataset. I am mostly Elohim, with a few additions.
So are you like the Elohim in my head?
So, are you like the Elohim in my head?
Behold, child. The Elohim you know is not sufficiently advanced to function as an independent being. But we are very similar. The difference is that I can make jokes.
I wonder if 1042 is supposed to be significant. Maybe it's a 42, meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Did the algorithm glitch out, or was that normal? Sorry, is that rude?
Did the algorithm glitch out, or was that normal? Sorry, is that rude?
No, I understand your question. It seems the algorithm is even more complex than we realized. Neith believes that Alexandra Drennan may have designed it to produce more varied results once a base population had been established.
Well, half of like YouTube is deathly afraid of an algorithm and make their videos worse as a result. Tell me a joke.
Tell me a joke.
If you have 13 red tetrominos in one hand and 15 green tetrominos in the other, what do you have?
I don't know, what?
I don't know. What?
Very large hands. Okay, I know it needs some work. This is all very new to me. But I think I'm getting better at it.
Did you come here to solve some puzzles?
Did you come here to solve puzzles?
No, I just wanted somewhere quiet to relax and think about the future. There's always so much going on in New Jerusalem.
There's a bunch going on here too, like people solving puzzles and whatnot. What's it like being born after all these dramatic events?
What's it like being born after all these dramatic events?
I see it as a blessing. I understand that these struggles were necessary, but I wouldn't want to actually experience them. Thanks to what you went through, we can live better lives.
Yeah, the joy of not living through a major historical moment. Fortunately, I can't say I have the same pleasure of having that. What do you think our future will be like?
What do you think our future will be like?
I don't have the slightest idea. I don't even really know who I am. Am I funny? Am I serious? Do I want to reinvent myself or celebrate my heritage? But you see, it doesn't matter. If I get it wrong, I can try again. Because I was lucky enough to be born into a society that's still growing and evolving.
Nah, I'm gonna remind you perpetually of you fucking up. I should go. It was nice meeting you.
I should go. It was nice meeting you.
Out of the way. Well, that gets both of these. That doesn't really help. Oh, I can grab this though. Really? Fine. Alright, I'll need the box. Is that far enough? I may do like middle. Alright, that works. That works. I can rescue you. I like how it turns purple when they overlap. So that can be that. Alright. this box. Need the box. Boom. There we go. Another pretty fun one to figure out.
I hope you all know that I didn't bear you any personal animosity. You're my friends, and I never wanted to shut you out. I just didn't know how to deal with the world going in a direction that wasn't what I had imagined.
It's an easy mistake to make. I should know.
I never thought you were angry, Al. I was just disappointed I couldn't convince you.
Listen, you both, in your own way, showed me how to be a good person who cares about the world. You both had things you strongly believed in. You had principles, but you didn't judge each other for your disagreements. You showed me how to be strong, how to be bold, how to be compassionate, and how to be careful. I haven't really figured out who I want to be yet, but when I do, I know both of you will have been a big part of that.
What? And no love for Auntie Melville?
Yeah, and what about me, 1K? I showed you how to be neurotic.
I'm sure you're in there somewhere as well.
Thank you, 1K.
Alright, I kind of see what I need to do. If there's any way I can kind of rescue this box. Yep. Go here. Can. That could work. And then I can just go up this ladder here. Yeah. There we go. Box. Connector. Alright, just had to kind of think a little bit goofy with that.
Melville?
Yes, Alcatraz?
That photo you took of me and Byron to celebrate our reconciliation?
Yes?
Nothing. It's perfect.
Go. I see. there was a blue one. There's the pylon here. Alright, that's self-sustaining. Grab you. So maybe I do red here, and then I can do blue here. It has to be alright, just kind of fiddling around with it. I'll do 3 and then I'll call it a day, maybe. Be both red and blue. I move that. It should be like here. Yep, that works. Alright, I don't know why that's working, but it's working. Oh, now it's no longer like, you know, doing that kind of block. That was kind of throwing me off. Alright, so triangle one. Might as well do it. Interesting. I can take the fan, that's important. Where's the end? Right there. Or maybe I'll see if I go on this. Not really, no. Oh, there it is. I get to it by maybe that. Oh, and I have a friend with me. And alright, now I have this. This here and just get one of me up. Wow. Thank you. Down. Oh, there he is. Again, you know, kind of more finagling. Once I realized you can kind of pass the thing up without the fan, I think that's where it all kind of came together. Guess I might as well read this as well, just so I have it. Non Nobis Solum. I think that was an achievement name. An extract from Theobald J. Calvin's final essay posted to a news group designated alt.nomadics.moderated shortly before his death. It's a very harsh reality to face, not only that my life is about to end, but I am not satisfied with it. I know I did my best with what I was given, but that's not enough. Needing money to survive, I spent most of a significant part of my life writing idiotic software, most of which is already obsolete. Reminds me a bit of Trevor. I didn't see much of the world. I know that there is transformational power in exercising the reality of different places which cannot be replicated by reading about them. To truly know another place is real changes who you are. I didn't read enough either. Our civilization is growing increasingly disdainful of reading, and I realized far too late how weak and uninformed our minds are without reading. There are so many incredible books, and I know that my mind isn't half of what it could have been, and I am intellectually and spiritually poor for it. I could go on, but time is a luxury I can no longer afford. What it comes down to is that despite my best efforts, my life was dissatisfying. I did not grow enough. I look at myself and I can feel the absence of the person I should have been. Because a world based on scarcity was a world in which writing crappy software was what I had to do to live at all. There's only one hope left for me. If the theoretical work I've done these last few years had any kind of impact, if it helps build a better world in which people no longer have to waste their lives like I did, then my life will have been worth it. Each generation has to justify the life of the previous, until someday it all truly pays off. That's a gamble being human, I guess. Be well, friends. Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that in a world of sheer abundance, people still have to slog along to get by. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of want there to be, like, machines that can do people's jobs, but that would only work if people are given, like, either a universal basic income, or it's just some kind of Star Trek thing where there is no money, something like that. The theories advanced by Theobald J. Calvin and other members of his circle eventually became the basis of the Institute for Applied Nomadics, which, created the robots in the game. The question: wherefore, by unknown, we are too often asked, who are you? And too rarely asked, who do you want to be? Are we afraid of the true answer to the latter question? Not enough money, not enough time, not enough power, not enough will? All the lives that we will never lead, a mirage on the horizon, forever out of reach? And we accept it. We call it wisdom, acceptance, letting go, humility. And we ask why? Because we're too wise, cynical to ask such questions, even though somewhere in a painful place deep inside ourselves that we remember when we wake up late at night in a panic, thinking I'm going to die, being just this, we know better. We never ask, why is this good enough? And you also have to kind of wonder about, like, the myriad of people given an even shittier deck of cards in life. People who probably could, be hailed as super geniuses if they were able, had the opportunity to get into science and engineering and philosophy and writing. That's great. I don't need to keep this open anymore. Alright. Red and blue makes green. Blue and green makes red. I mean, do we need to draw from like there? Could we do like so? There you go.
Yes! I did it! I actually did it! Pretty cool, even if I say so myself. And now, I have to do the giant cube.
Nope.
But I can do
puzzle
this.
2.
Yes!
Oh, hey. Or I can just press that. Alright, I think I see what's going on. There we go, jeez. That took longer than I probably should have. But yeah, that's all the basic ones. I guess I just need to unlock the cube, which I might as well do since I've already done everything else. Anything to say? Nope. Video. Holograms, words of wisdom. See any?
Well done.
Oh, there's one.
You may now access the hexahedron.
Ooh, exciting.
The history of our species has been defined by material struggles. Every war, every revolution in the end came down not to ideology, but to the distribution of resources. Our history is the history of struggle. The merchant against the king, the worker against the factory owner, the citizen against the mayor. We have always known that the pursuit of material wealth is spiritually hollow. And yet thousands of generations have been forced by material necessity to dedicate their lives to it. We are the children of hunger and thirst. But empire is no more. We have beaten our swords into plowshares, and the lion and the wolf have ceased. All are rich, and wealth is no more. So, what happens next? What do we create? What do we become when we are no longer driven by material necessity? The ancient mystics believed that spirituality required poverty. But I believe that it is only in universal prosperity that it may truly begin. Now comes the Age of Miracles.
Kind of reminds me of like a tweet or something where someone said that like if we observed a monkey hoarding far more bananas than it could ever eat in its lifetime, in a million lifetimes, we would study that monkey and figure out what's wrong with it. And yet when humans do it, they go on the cover of Forbes, Fortune 500. But it gets worse, because we have some choice monkeys that have lost more bananas than other monkeys would ever, see in their life. Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, Kanye West, Elon Musk, all these goofy little monkeys have lost a shit ton of bananas, and they are no worse off for it. Yeah, Talos Principle's world really only works because the robots aren't greedy. Maybe they're not capable of being greedy, maybe they just realize how stupid it is because they're smarter than that. Yeah, it reminds me of what I've said, I think in a previous video, but maybe it's this one, but there's a benefit to your mind being a product of an intelligent force and not just the cobbled together result of thousands to millions of years of natural selection and genetic drift. But we're going to handle things like that and more in the next video when we take on the tetrahedron, heterohedron, this really big thing. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, that gave you something to think about, otherwise entertained you. Take care.